Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for week 15 of the NFL. And my goodness, people, if you think the NFL is not crazy, just watch week 14 because there's some results that nobody in this world could guess. Just for fun, before I get to the guys here, I'm going to give you the quarterbacks that won last week. Okay, just some of them. Bailey Zappi, Jake Browning, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Nick Mullins, who won 3-0, Tommy DeVito, who beat Gil's Packers, and Will Levis, who upset the Dolphins in Miami. These are some crazy upsets. Bailey Zappi might have been Gil's favorite game of the week because they went to Pittsburgh and won, and Lino must have been going crazy over that one. Joe Flacco's 38 years old, came off his couch and beat the Jaguars. So, this is some crazy stuff going on in the NFL. I haven't even mentioned the quarterbacks that played and lost because there's a lot of those too, like O'Connell and guys we've never heard of. So this is a tough year for quarterback injuries, and it's hurting the quality of the game for sure. But on the other hand, Jose, our 49ers took care of business, and my God, is Brock Purdy getting better by the day. For all you haters out there, FS1, ESPN, all you people who hate Brock Purdy, he only threw for 368 yards and threw a 60-yard bomb to Deebo Samuel. So, you guys can pick away all you want, talk about his weapons. He's been great all year. And for whoever put Dak over him as MVP, I got two words for you: 42-10. Now let's get to my guests. We have Gil Santos with us and Jose Gomes. Tony Barbosa is busy playing ball hockey indoors, so we're going to have to make fun of his Colts for him after they embarrassed themselves against the Bengals and Jake Browning. Now, Gil, you said it last week, and you did it anyway, and you jinxed your team. The Packers found a way after taking a late lead to lose to Tommy DeVito. What happened, Gil?
Well, to be honest with you, when the Packers scored that touchdown and they didn't get the 2-point conversion, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
So I saw that coming. And it's a bad loss. They're lucky now they're still the 7th seed, though. They have the last spot still, but they would put themselves in a better situation. But now they're in a big spot with like 4 or 5 teams at 6 and 7. So let's see what happens.
And that Vikings 3-0 win hurts you. That game was 0-0 until 2 minutes left, and Nick Mullins engineers a drive, and they win 3-0, Gil. You must have been disgusted.
That was one of the worst football games I've ever seen in my life.
You know what, guys? I said there was going to be a 3-0 score this week. I just got the wrong game. New England ended up 21-18, and this game ended up 3-0. So there you go. Jose, our 49ers get it done and as I predicted and hoped last week during the show, Jose was watching. The Dallas Cowboys crushed the Eagles, which means the 49ers are the number 1 seed, even though they're tied in record because they kicked the ass of the other 2 teams they're tied with. Jose, will we get the 1 seed?
I don't know. There's a couple of tricky games coming up for the Niners. That Baltimore game is going to be tough.
I'm not worried about the Ravens. Gil, your Ravens.
Okay, listen. Don't start the parade because the Ravens, when they're on their game, they can beat anybody. They threw spankings to the Lions, and everybody else.
Lately, they've been average, Jose.
Yeah, lately. And the Niners lost 3 games to the freaking Vikings, to the Browns with no quarterback, and freaking wherever they lost to. Mm-hmm. So anything could happen in football, man. Anything could happen. We can even lose to the freaking Arizona Cardinals. They always struggle against the Cardinals.
Tricky.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
This week's like one of those trap games that you're thinking ahead of already for next week and stuff. And then you don't worry, you're not worried about this Arizona team, and then they're gonna surprise you like they always do. They always keep it close against the Niners. But anyways, I think that game against the Baltimore Ravens, I think if we beat them, then we'll finish first overall. Mm-hmm. The Eagles have an easy schedule down the stretch. So it's not like they probably have I think they have the easiest schedule of all the teams down the stretch.
They got the G-men twice, and that might not be easy anymore.
dude. Like they're just going through a rough patch right now. They're a good team, man. They're going through a rough patch. But if they start clicking too, watch out. Like they're not. They're a good team. They're a good team.
Now, just because Tommy Barbosa is not here, who somehow by a miracle remains Tommy Barbosa because DeVito won again, uh, your Colts were an embarrassment last week. You let Jake Browning pass the ball over. You lost 34-14. So I don't want to hear about your Colts, Barbosa. They were garbage, and you're lucky they have the record they have because that was an embarrassment.
It's I heard what Barbosa said. They were going to win 4 out of the 5 last games. Yeah, okay, they're going to go 1-5. Never mind.
Gil, what do you think of Barbosa's fraudulent Colts?
I don't know. I can't say much because my Packers are. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to.
That's right. They're the same. They're the same.
I'm not putting myself. I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
Gil, in 2 weeks, the Ravens go to San Francisco. You can't be feeling too good about that game right now.
No, but I wish Jose didn't cut you off because I had something to humiliate you with. But
really?
Oh yeah, because if the Ravens win that game, I was going to pounce all over you. You're lucky Jose helped you out over there.
Gil, you needed a punt return to beat the Rams at home. What's wrong with your team?
It's okay, but don't forget the Rams now are getting healthy. Cooper Kupp's
They're playing
back.
better.
Williams is back in the running back. Remember, there was a time there where the Rams were really banged up in injuries.
Yeah, they're playing well.
So don't think that the Ravens played a bad Rams team. The Rams were healthy at the time. Stratford was in, Williams was in, Cooper Kupp was there, Nakuka is there. It's not like the Rams were bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams were bad at the beginning because they got to injuries and stuff. So don't think they were easy. The Rams are not that easy. Just have a good.
No, not anymore. Now before we go, let's go get to Gil. I know I have to ask you about this because you have a very love-hate relationship with the refs. What did you think about the whining and crying from the pathetic Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes and Reed crying about the refs and the offside call?
Well, for me, they embarrassed themselves because
good. That's right.
because he's clearly offside, and Mahomes saying and Andy Reid saying they give a warning. Why would a ref give you a warning for your mistake?
Yeah.
They just contradicted themselves. Tony fucked up, and they didn't want to throw him under the bus, I guess. So they start blaming the refs. The refs have no fault in it. He's clearly offside, and that's it. So they got beat, and they got beat fairly. Nothing had to do with the referee. The refs made the perfect call.
Certainly helped the Ravens. Jose, what do you think about that embarrassment?
And play football and shut up.
Exactly. Exactly. And the Chiefs remember, we watched the Super Bowl last year, and the Chiefs got a very beneficial call that helped them beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So I don't want to hear anything from the Chiefs with the refs. So let's get to our picks. Gil, feel free to make fun of some of these games because there's some bad ones this week, okay? Now, last week was a very tough week, as you can imagine. Barbosa had 7 wins. Jose with 9 leading the way this week to up his lead. Me and Gil had 8 each. It was a very tough week with a lot of upsets. The records stand as Jose 133 and 75, Barbosa 126 and 82, myself 125 and 83, and Gil 124 and 84. Jose has an 8-game lead. Lots of time left, and we have a hell of a race, but Jose made a game leap last week. Now let's get to the games. Guys, I'm going to make fun of some of these games, and here's the first garbage bowl of the week. The LA Chargers with nobody. Starting a guy who sounds like he's from a stick company and should be playing hockey. The Chargers are starting a player named Easton Stick. I am not making that up. Easton Stick. For those who know hockey and play hockey, Easton is a stick company. So they're starting a stick company against the Raiders, who got no points at home and had Adrian O'Connell at quarterback. This might break the record for the worst game last week, Gil. This might even be worse a Thursday nighter like this. There's no Keenan Allen. They have no receivers. I don't even know what's going on with Vegas. This is a brutal game with 2 teams that are out of it. Gil, you're going to be sleeping during this one, I'm sure. What's your best guess on this game?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the schedule maker that put these games on primetime.
It's embarrassing.
Whoever put, like last week, we had the Steelers and the Patriots as primetime. Whoever's putting these games on prime time needs to get fired. That's
This is
first of all.
brutal.
And it's been happening all year. There's a lot of
Yeah,
bad games on prime time. I don't know why. Like this game should be like a 4 o'clock, and whoever wants to
hide it
watch it, watch.
somewhere.
Yeah, hide
Yeah.
it. But we do have to pick somebody, and you know what? I don't know about Stick, so I'm gonna stick to O'Donnell because Stick probably has no flow with the team. We've never seen Stick in our lives. Uh, at least O'Donnell has some sort of flow with the team. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, and they're at home, so I'm gonna say the Raiders.
Jose, Easton Stick or Adrian O'Connell?
Neither. Put it in the third stringer. Put in Stidham or whatever the fuck, whoever.
Easton Stick. That might be the funniest name I've ever heard. Like,
I don't know. Just the both teams mangled with injuries. Um, Chargers lose both. No Allen, no Herbert, no chance. I'm taking the Raiders at home.
yeah, Vegas scored 0 points last week, but they're playing the Chargers, who won a game 6-0 against New England with Herbert. This game might be 0-0 going into the fourth. Like it's that bad. Um, I gotta take Vegas here because I don't know who Easton Stick is. I thought he was a hockey player or like a stick company, and they have no receivers. Like I just, this is the beginning of the end for Mr. Staley. I think that Compton gets it done, Gil. Vegas wins this one. Barbosa's also on the Raiders, so we'll see. This is any. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, but we have to pick it. Now we go, Gil. It gets worse, eh? Now we go to Saturday night. You would think, okay, they have Saturday. They're gonna have some good games. Let me tell you what these games are. The Minnesota Vikings, starting Nick Mullins, are going to Cincinnati to take on Jake Browning and the Bengals. This is another beauty, by the way. The Bengals and Vikings are somehow still in the playoff race. Don't ask me how. Um, Again, this is a game where like I got to take the home team and the better offense. So I'll take the Bengals. Jose?
It's not a bad game. This City's a good team, man. Because they only lost Burrow doesn't mean that they're shit. You can see that Browning's getting better with the offense. Last week he put up 300 yards. The other week before too. So he's not no Joe Burrow, but he's been throwing the ball around, getting chase. The right receivers are healthy. Yeah, so I'm gonna take Cincinnati in this one too.
Gil?
Well, it's hard to pick. Um, but as a Packer fan, I'm going to use this as my leverage. So I'm obviously going to see Minnesota lose. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
Okay, so Jose doesn't agree, but he'll agree with this one. Barbosa, you're lucky you're not here for this. The Pittsburgh Steelers, starting Mitchell Trubisky, are going to the Colts to take on Minshew Magic. Now, this is even worse than Minnesota Cincinnati putting this on Saturday. Like
Sorry,
nobody's gonna watch this game.
Reese, hold on. Sorry, before you continue, what did Tony pick on that game?
Oh, he's got Cincinnati.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah. Um, Gil, this is like so both teams are in the playoff race still. Again, I don't know how. Pittsburgh has lost to Arizona at home and New England at home. So there ain't no damn way I'm taking them in Indianapolis, even though I don't like the Colts. So I got the Colts. Gil.
I agree. I'm going to take the Colts. They're at home. The wide receivers are more spontaneous. Mishu has more. I feel like he has more. When someone has it, that
He can throw it deep, he's
like
got
that thrive,
these.
and
Yeah.
Trubisky looks he can't throw downfield.
No, no.
And the Colts and Steelers defense kind of match up. Watt kind
Yeah.
of got hurt last week too. I don't know how he is. So we'll see. But if he doesn't play, that's gonna hurt the Steelers even bigger. So, but I'm gonna take the Colts.
Barbosa. No, sorry, Jose.
Um, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I just
Wow.
think I think Mason Rudolph's going to come in this game and he's going to take over the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's a better quarterback than Trubisky, honestly. They should have given him a chance than last week when they were struggling. They could have brought him in, but I think Mason Rudolph takes over this game and they squeak out by a field goal. I just don't think I think Pittsburgh's defense is better than Indy's. And Indy got exposed last week by a good offensive team. I'm not saying Pittsburgh is a good offensive team, but they have the weapons. They just gotta showcase it, man. They gotta give the ball to Pickens, man. They have to like slam passes and stuff like that. Let the man play, like he's a crazy good wide receiver, but they just don't give him the ball, man. So, but saying that, I think Pittsburgh needs this game more, and they're gonna and what's his name, Tomlin, when they come off the big losses like they did last week, they always perform. So I'm gonna take Pittsburgh.
Well, I didn't see that after they got embarrassed by the Cardinals. I saw them lose to Bailey Zappi at home. So Barbosa, as you can imagine, has the Colts. So we'll see, but ain't nobody gonna watch this game either.
But Jose's just picking Rudolph this time.
Well, Trubisky's terrible, to be fair. And Gil, you hate the running back on Pittsburgh too, so it's not looking good. Now we get to a half-decent game as the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, who, despite being pedestrian, finds a way to win these games somehow, goes to Detroit to take on the struggling Lions, who got absolutely blitzed by the Bears last week. Detroit is tumbling down. Green Bay had a chance to really put a scare in them, and it blew it to Tommy DeVito. So this game, the Lions kind of don't need, because they're not going to finish first, and they're going to win the division. And having said that, the Broncos need it more, so I'm taking the Broncos. Gil.
Well said. Exactly the same feeling. Broncos.
Jose.
I'm going to take Detroit. I think Detroit, they need this game just for mental wise, just so then they can get the momentum back in their side. They've been struggling lately. I think at home they're a different team offensively with that crowd and stuff like that, and their defense. So I think they'll squeak one out against Denver. So I'm taking Detroit.
Barbosa is on the Broncos. Now we get to a game that might not be pretty for Bill Belichick. There are reports out that Bill Belichick will be relieved of his duties after the season, and it's well-deserved because New England has been an embarrassment this year. I don't care about Zappy time on freaking Thursday night against the Steelers. They're terrible, and Bill Belichick has never fixed this offense since he lost Tom Brady. Defense is still good, but I think they're finally going to part ways with him. Having said that, they're at home. They're playing a Kansas City team that couldn't be any angrier. I have the Chiefs. Jose.
Yeah, Chiefs in a bounce back game. Well, they really need this game. If they lose this game, they're in trouble. So I'm taking KC.
KC has to win this game if they want any chance at the 1 seed. They're 8-5.
Taylor Swift go to a concert and don't show up, because since you've been showing up, they've been losing a lot of games. I think it's Taylor Swift.
I think you called it. Bad luck, Taylor Swift, right?
I called it.
Yeah. But you're still taking KC in this game, right?
Well, so you know what? Scheduling wise, it's perfect for them for the bounce back game. So yes, KC.
Yeah. You know what? It will be low scoring though, because that Kansas City offense, Bill Belichick can do one thing very well: take away your best weapon. So Tony and Rice and Sky and all these they're gonna have to catch the football, or it's gonna be 6-0 going to the fourth quarter. So because Kelsey ain't gonna get the ball at all, they're gonna triple team him. So better be careful, Casey. You don't screw around. Get up early and put them away. Don't let Zappy time beat you over the top like Pittsburgh. Now we go to two teams that really, really frustrate me, as the New York Jets, who benched Zach Wilson for Aaron Rodgers' best friend, then went back to Zach Wilson, who then said he didn't want to play, and then they destroy the Houston Texans, and Zach Wilson has the best game of his pro career. I don't understand this Jets team at all. They go to Miami to take on an equally frustrating Dolphins team who sucked last week. Did nothing offensively. They got two big breaks on a muff punt and a fumble, and they still found a way to blow the game to Will Levis. Having said that, this is a huge game for the Dolphins, a game they can't lose, and a game they will win. I'm taking the Dolphins. Jose.
I took the Jets last week. But this week against an upset Miami team, I'm gonna take Miami, knowing that they need this win to just in the race for the first overall seed in the playoffs in the AFC. So I'm gonna take Miami.
And the Dolphins don't want to go into play Buffalo at home with the division on the line. They better win this game. Gil.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Dolphins, but you know what? The spread's an 8.5. And
yeah, it might be too high.
And Wilson right now, like he just said, what do I have to lose? So he's playing loose. There's no pressure on him because he said, what do I have to lose? I'm going to get benched again. So what? So I don't even think he cares anymore. So he's just going to go out there and play loose like he's playing in the hood. So we got to be careful with that. So I think with that said, he might cover that spread, but I still think Miami's going to win.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's career is on the line. He's not going to be a Jet next year, and he has to show something to get a job somewhere. And with how bad the quarterback play is right now, he may just get another chance because there's just not enough talent in the league. By the way, Barbosa's on the Chiefs and the Dolphins in this game as well. Oh, now let's go to a very interesting game. Might have been an ugly bowl before, but I kind of like this game as the Chicago Bears once again are showing a late flicker of hope, but they have to go take on the best defense in the NFL and the Browns and a quarterback that, I mean, I remember Vinny Testaverde coming off his bench to help the Jets make the playoffs a few years a while ago. But this is something else with what Joe Flacco is doing, getting the football down the field and making the Broncos offense alive and well. I think the Broncos are a big time sleeper if Joe Flacco cannot turn it over and throw the ball deep, and they got a great running game with that defense. They're a sleeper. They could knock out anybody if he plays well. Having said that, they put him on the practice roster, and if they're not careful, he could be picked up by another team. But I think Joe Flacco wants to stay in Cleveland, and therefore the Cleveland Browns will beat the Chicago Bears at home. Gil.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cleveland as well. I think just their defense will keep them in. I don't think they're gonna blow out Chicago either. But
no.
The defense, Cleveland's defense is just too good, and I think Flacco will just get a couple of points that he needs. And I think Fields is gonna struggle against Cleveland's defense, so I'm gonna take Cleveland.
Jose.
This is a tough game to pick, man.
It is.
Since Sweat's been on the team, since they made a trade for Sweat, the Bears have been a top 5 defense.
Absolutely.
In saying that, I see what you guys are saying. That Cleveland does have a good offense, but then again, last week, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence put up some 28 something points with a bum knee. You know
he
what?
Still threw 3 picks though too.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go an upset here. I'm gonna take Chicago. I think Chicago, they have nothing to lose. I think that defense will keep them in the game, and Justin Fields will roll around and find some Mooney or somebody like that. So I'm gonna take Chicago in the upset here.
Barbosa is on the Browns in this one. Oh, this team, the Houston Texans, who I like. I like CJ Stroud. I like Nico Collins. They've helped my fantasy team a lot, but they have been ravaged by injuries, and the Jets just completely took them out last week. They go to Tennessee to take on a team I can't figure out. I mean, Will Levis, one week he's throwing bombs to Hopkins every play. The next week he can't make a pass. The last week, Hopkins had to tell him 3-4 times, "I'm wide open, pass me the ball." When he figured it out, they beat Miami. Having said that, Houston has, I don't know what Stroud's status is. If it's David Mills with no receivers, it's not going to be pretty for them. I got the Titans. Gil.
Yeah, I'm also going to Titans. The Titans for sure are a home team. They play well at home. Houston always looked fuzzy to me. Stroud's still a rookie quarterback. They're probably on a downfall right now. They're going to play for their playoff lives. But I think Tennessee's going to win.
Jose?
Yeah, Tennessee is a home team. They play well at home. Henry's rushing the ball pretty good now lately, so that's another weapon. And Houston's just mangled with injuries. The wide receivers, the two best wide receivers, are likely going to be out. Even if Stroud plays, who's he going to pass the freaking Schultz to the quarter, the tight end, or they're just going to run the ball with Pierce
and Singletary, yeah.
Yeah, saying that, I'm going to take Tennessee as well.
Barbosa's on the Texans in this one. We'll see. Stroud's in concussion protocol. Nico Collins might be back, but if he's not, I don't know who they're throwing the ball to. So good luck with that one, Barbosa. Oh boy, now we go to Tommy DeVito. I'm loving this guy more and more by the week. He goes to New Orleans to take on a Saints team that I mean, I can't figure them out. Last week they completely dominated the Panthers despite bad quarterback play. The defense just took over that game. The Giants are finding ways to win games, but they played like some teams that were vulnerable. They got Green Bay early and they got ahead early and got the ball last against Green Bay. I don't know how long this train goes, but I know this. The Saints need this game more, and they better win this game with that defense. I'm taking the Saints. Jose.
Dude, it's like you said, the Saints are unpredictable, man. They're 1 week they're doing good, the other week they're doing garbage. You know what? Like the Giants have something special going on right now. Like
they do.
Nobody's figuring out this DeVito guy, and Barkley's rushing the ball well. He's been playing like Barkley. Their defense is sneaky good quietly, man. Their defense is not bad. But like you said, I think New Orleans needs the game more, and so I'm gonna take New Orleans as well. But I won't be surprised if the Giants beat them anyway too.
No, me either.
New Orleans.
Gil, are you on the Tommy DeVito train?
Oh, but I'm happy for him. But it is a tough game.
It is.
I'm gonna go with the Saints just because I think they got the edge on defense.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the Saints defense win this game.
Yeah, because Derek Carr is not going to win any game. You have to rely on the Saints and Kamara because Carr is just all over the place. I don't know what to do with Derek Carr. I've never been a fan, and he just doesn't seem to get it done. Plus, the Saints have a lot of injuries in the wide receiver ranks, so they're really going to have to rely on the running game and the defense to win this one. I wouldn't be surprised if the G-Men win. And Tony Barbosa, who we now call Tommy, has been converted. He is going with Tommy DeVito and the G-Men in this one. I wish him the best of luck. Oh, God, these two teams. Now we go to Atlanta, a team that I absolutely hate. A team that I don't think I've gotten right all year. They find a way to lose another game late last week, and they go to Carolina to take on the Panthers, who've won one game all year, and that was at home to the Texans. But they're so bad, Carolina. I can't take them when Atlanta needs the game to win the division. I'm going to take the Falcons. Jose.
Same. I think, you know what? Actually, Ritter surprised me last week throwing for.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
Yeah, he did play well. It's just, yeah, I think they're a better team than Carolina. Carolina is just horrible. They need to upgrade on their team in the draft. So I'm going to take Atlanta in this.
Gil, you're not the biggest fan of the Falcons, but who do you got in this one?
I'm going to take the upset. I think Carolina wins this one. I think Atlanta's going to choke job this one. I think Carolina will win this game because Carolina knows Carolina knows Arizona won 3 games already. They know the Patriots now won 3 games. So they're in for a win. They're going to make it too.
Yeah, Ritter did impress me by throwing the ball to London and Pitts last week. Let's hope he keeps it up with Bijan, because if he can throw the ball well, then Bijan becomes more effective. Barbosa's on the Falcons as well in this one. Now let's go to the game I've been dying to talk about. Baker Mayfield, who continues to be one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch, goes to Green Bay to take on the Packers in a game that can determine both teams' playoff lives. Gil, this is tricky. You know it is. It's Baker, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Rashad White against your boy Love and his trio of receivers. I'm not sure your boy Jones is going to be back, but this is a huge game. And I know it's tough, Gil, but who do you got?
Tampa Bay, no comment.
I knew it is. I know. Jose.
Tampa Bay's winning outright.
Jose. Yeah, I know exactly why he did that. Jose.
Tough game to pick. Green Bay's on and off. Tampa Bay's on it.
Tampa. Right.
It's not I guess it's the quarterback that throws the minus the less interceptions.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take Green Bay because they're playing at home. So I'm gonna take Green Bay at home.
I'm gonna make my pick this way. Ding 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 ding. Go back, go. Ding 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 ding. Gil, have some faith. Your Packers are at home at Lambeau Field playing the Bucks. That were supposed to be a lottery team. Come on, they got to win this game. I got the Packers. I think they'll win at home. They're a home team this year. It feels like. So let's give them a break. Let's hope they can beat the Bucks at home. I mean, but Bucks barely beat the Falcons on the road last week. Come on, Packers. So I'll take Green Bay. I know why Gil's making his pick, and he's hilarious. Barbosa's with Gil. He's on the Bucks. So you have a partner in crime there. You know, you guys, okay? So you hope they win, so that way you get the jinx out of the way. All right, listen, they're tricky. I don't like this team. They're coming off a bye. It's Murray. It's Connor. It's tricky. I don't give a damn. The 49ers are winning this game. They're going to win this game. They're not going to overlook the Cardinals and look forward to the Ravens. Please don't do it, Purdy. Don't do it. Do not look ahead of this game to the Ravens next week. Take care of your business in Arizona and make it easy early. Don't make it interesting. 49ers don't like the spread. 13.5 is too many points. Think Cardinals cover it, but the 49ers win this game. Jose, are they gonna make it interesting because they're looking ahead?
I think they'll handle business. I know that they know what's at stake, number one seed. So if they're gonna lose any other game, it's not gonna be this one. I think the 49ers win. I think, but like you said, I think Cardinals cover the spread. I think it's a big spread to go on, especially on the road and against a divisional game. So, but I'm taking the Niners. The Niners should pull this one off.
Gil, this is a tricky game. I know it sounds crazy, but they've beaten the Cowboys at home and they're coming off a bye and they got Murray back. Like I don't like this game, but who do you got, Gil?
Well, the Niners should win this game. Murray, they just got to contain him because Murray likes to run around, and the Niners usually when they get a quarterback that runs around, they struggle a bit.
That's right.
As good as their defense is, they struggle with running quarterbacks. And
this will be good practice for next week.
This will be a good practice for the Raven game because they're going to get a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And that's actually be for topic for next week. I'll leave that to that. But the thing is Murray can run around all he wants. He just doesn't have the help. And I think the Niners defense, but for next week will be a different story. But I don't think he has the help. I think the Niners might even cover the spread, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they'll do it. They know there's a lot on the line. Dallas is down their throats. The Eagles are just there. They can't afford to slip. They know that. They're not dumb. They know they struggle against this team. They can't take this team lightly. They know the Niners are going to take it a game at a time, and they know what's at stake. And they're well coached. And I think Shanahan's going to make sure their players are ready.
So they cover the 13.5?
I even think they cover the 13, just because I don't think Murray has the help around them to score.
Mm-hmm. Okay. They did keep it relatively close with Josh Dobbs and Connor early in the year, so we'll see. I think the 49ers win by 10, not 14, but we'll see. Now let's go to, God, what a bad game. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. The Washington Commanders, who Gil's already. I know already shaking his head. They go to LA to take on the Rams. I'm not even gonna do any analysis here. I got the Rams. Jose,
Yeah, the Rams should win this game. They
Rams
need
need
it.
just to try to make the playoffs. Like the Washington's, they're throwing in the towel. Gil,
Yeah, this team should have like 7 buys. This team shouldn't even. There should be a second division in the NFL. But yeah, the Rams.
yeah, Jose, Barbosa's on the 49ers and the Rams as well. Uh, the Commanders will have a new name and a different team next year and a new coach because Magic Johnson's not messing around. He's going to want this team to be better. So stay tuned for that. This year's a write off. Okay, before we get to our last 3 games, we're going to take a small break, but we'll be right back with Dallas at Buffalo. I can't wait to hear the selections for this game. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on the Reese Report, taking a little bit of a break because we wanted to think more about these last 3 games, especially this one right here, as the Dallas Cowboys, who had a statement game last week against the Eagles. They pounded them into the ground to cause a 3-way tie at the top of the NFC, with the 49ers having the obvious tiebreakers. They go to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills, who have been resurgent since the offensive coordinator has been changed. They're at 7-6. They're still in wavelengths of getting a playoff spot. This is a very interesting game. I'm going to start with Gil. What do you got?
It's a tough game.
It is.
Uh, I think too much things have been going Dallas's way, so I'm gonna say we're in Buffalo. It's a little colder. Dak is gonna choke. Pollard hasn't been running the ball too well. This is all like offense throwing. I think Josh Allen gets it done. Bills defense do a last stand. I'm gonna say the Bills.
Jose?
Um, Honestly, I think Dallas is a home team. I think they struggle playing on the road, but at home they're really good. And all these games that they've been winning were all at home. When they go play a half decent team on the road, they struggle. So that's saying that I'm gonna take Buffalo as well. I think Buffalo needs this game more than they do, especially in that race to get in the playoffs. They played well last week against the Chiefs. They should have beat the Eagles the week before too. They had a chance to beat them. But I think Buffalo at home in the cold, they'll run the ball. Josh Allen will play well, and Buffalo will win the game. So I'm taking Buffalo.
I agree with Jose. The Dallas is not as good on the road. Um, I think it's time for Dak to have a bad game, and Buffalo is a very tough place to play in the winter. I think he's due for a game where he throws a couple of picks. I think Dak's had it easy for a while, and he's going to finally play a team that can match him offensively. I think he forces it a little bit. Buffalo, I'm not the biggest fan of Josh Allen. He'll throw a couple of picks too, but I think Buffalo sneaks this one out with a 3-point win. I think that Dak Prescott has a game that knocks him out of the MVP race, boosts Purdy back up to the top, and the 49ers take a 1-game lead in the division and in the NFC race. I think the Bills win this one by 3. Dallas can win it, but I don't like them on the road, so I'll take the Bills as well. Barbosa is on the Bills too. We're all on the Bills. Wow. Bills are favorite for a reason in this game. I said it a couple of weeks ago when the 49ers were a favorite on the road in Philadelphia. There's a reason they're favorite. Same goes here for Buffalo. Now we go to Gil's Super Bowl pick, the Baltimore Ravens, who snuck out a win over the Rams with a punt return. They go to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, who have an injured quarterback. And because the quarterback is injured, I have the Ravens. Gil, I'm sure you're on the Ravens again.
Yeah, I just hope the Ravens don't oversee this game. Looking into the Niner game, I think Lamar does this thing. I think Baltimore might even win by a field goal, to be honest with you. Or maybe 7, nothing more than that. And then that'll be a fun game because then The Bills win, Dak's gone, and then it's going to be Ravens Niners. I think winner of that game gets the MVP. So that'll
Yeah.
probably determine who gets. Um, but I think Baltimore wins. Jacksonville can't hack Baltimore defense just up their top three, and with Lamar, Beckham looks like he's on a thrive now high. Right, he's been he's been actually helping the team right now. So I think Baltimore's gonna win.
Jose?
Yeah, I think Baltimore's going to win this game. I think Jacksonville, what they need is to get Trevor Lawrence healthy for the playoffs. I think they have their playoff spot already guaranteed. I don't think anybody else in that division is going to catch up to them. So, in saying that, I'm going to take Baltimore. I think Baltimore squeak this one out, and then next week it's prime time.
Yeah, can't wait for that game. Barbosa is also on the Ravens in this one. Now to the Monday Nighter. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are struggling, but played the two best teams in the NFC and the Bills the week before that, take on maybe a little bit of an easier opponent as they go to Seattle to take on the Seabags, who may or may not start Drew Lock or the Italian Stallion. I don't care who they start. This is an angry Eagles team that has to win to keep pace. I got the Eagles. Jose.
Yeah, same. I think Eagles last week it was a blowout, but they were in the game, and they just those turnovers, those fumbles,
Yeah.
caused them to lose possessions and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but I think this week they regroup and they come up big against whoever the hell they're playing. But the Philly should win this game easily.
They're playing the Seabags, who have a lock and an Italian Stallion. Gil
and Metcalf that doing some sign language. I don't know what the hell he does.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man.
I guess he's checking out his homie that must not know how to speak or whatever. So
all I know is Metcalf, you got a death wish if you're going after Fred Warner. Or sorry, was it Greenlaw? Which one? Who was he trying to punk off?
Fred Warner.
Yeah, you're a little nuts going after Fred Warner, buddy. He'll eat you alive, eh? So go run in the Olympics and stay away from him in the UFC ring, okay? Gil, what do you got?
Well, I think the sign language was to Vegas Raiders to go play in Compton, but you know what? This was a game that I had Seattle in mind, but because of the last 2 weeks, I think Seattle's fell off track. I think the team's not where it should be. So I'm gonna take the Eagles, but technically in Seattle, Monday night, tough place to play in. I just think Seattle's not at that level they should have been at. I think they fell off track a little bit. So I'm gonna take the Eagles.
I will say if the Italian Stallion plays in Geno Smith and they have their receivers, they can cause Philly problems in the secondary like they did to Dallas. But I just don't see it happening. The Eagles, they got to win this game. So we shall see what happens.
They got to start running the ball instead of passing it to me. Got to start just play their game, and then, which is their game is the run game, and then it opens up the passing game. So they need to start running the ball more.
Yes, so those are our picks for this week as we have a hell of a race coming up ahead. We will have a nice preview of Baltimore, San Francisco next week. Hopefully the games go as expected, so that game will be a battle of both one seeds in each conference. The 49ers have played a very tough schedule and have made it look easy. So we'll see. They're healthy now. They got all their players back. Trent Williams is a massive factor. I saw a stat last week where McCaffrey ran like to the left-hand side and was running for 100 yards, and then he ran on the right-hand side and he's running for 3 yards. So like Trent Williams might be the MVP of the team. For those who are arguing about who's MVP, they don't have much of an offensive line outside of Trent Williams. So he is key to everything they do, and he was out for those 3 games where they were on that bad streak. So we shall see. I don't like Lamar Jackson. 49ers, Gil's right. When they play quarterbacks that run, they always have a problem. I think who was it? Marcus Mariota beat him last year with the running. So like I don't like running quarterbacks for this team, but at least they've got a test this week with Murray. It's kind of a good thing for them. So we'll see. Gil, you went against your Packers, but do you care to make any comment about that game, how you really feel, or are you just going to take Tampa Bay for the jinx?
Well, the way I really feel is, you guys know why I took Tampa, but when you look really into it, man, like Baker Mayfield can fluke this off.
You
They
can.
they have Evans. White can pull it off, like the Green Bay's run defense. We all know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But it is in Lambeau. Green Bay at home has been playing well. You can ask Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like to be honest with you, they're at home.
They should win the game. They should.
win. They should win the
Yeah.
game, especially the
Yeah.
position they're in. Yeah, they should win the game.
Jose, you're in the playoffs in fantasy. You need a big game from White, don't you?
I need a playoff from everybody. Never mind just White. I should be okay. That should be okay. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, you got the Rams playing Washington, which is the worst pass defense in the league, and this guy has Nakua and Cup. So yeah, I think I'm going to be seeing Gil and Jose in the next round.
And I have Stafford too, so I don't know.
That's right. So you should start Stafford 100% over Lawrence. You should start Stafford. I'll tell you that right now. Even absolutely, they're going to have a field day against Washington.
The best for me was I was getting emailed by the Fly Angry Bird or whatever the
Fly Eagles.
I had the most points for once in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I played spoiler. I think it was my third win. And he got upset because I eliminated him from the playoffs. So he was like texting me all night yesterday, pissed off that why didn't I bench my players and this and that.
That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. I saw that, Gil. I'm like, wow, Gil had Beckham. He had everyone going last week.
Everybody's going, yeah.
Lamar had like 40 points last week.
It's fun to play spoiler.
Oh, yeah. No, I was very happy I had a 2-game wheelie last week because I had 3 guys leave in the first quarter last week, literally. So I wasn't beating anyone last week, including your sister. So it was nice to have a couple of bye weeks in a row, like the old bye week. So, we'll see who I play. I face the winner of you and your opponent, Jose. Is that how it works?
Well, it depends on the lowest seed, whatever goes to play against you.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right.
So we'll see. Beats the 3 guy, then he plays you, and then whoever wins between, I think it's me and the ponies or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
Plays you.
All right. So that's our show for this week. I'd like to thank Gil and Jose for coming on the show. Barbosa, you better be back next week. You think you got off the hook because your Colts, you would have got killed this week, your Colts, eh? But that's okay. You could play your hockey, but you're going to be back next week. But for the mouth of the North Andrews, that's Jose Carlos Gomes and Gil Santos. We will see you next time on The Reese Report.